You are good, man. And your arms in the thing.
Hey,
Uh-oh. We back.
we back. Hey, go, go. Hey, hey. I found it. My Facebook is working now.
It came on.
Yeah, so I'm about to share.
I did it just for old time's sake. I just making sure. Sorry. I apologize. What's up? What's up? What's up, people?
Hey,
Dang, got 12 already. They jumping
you
on.
jumping on quick.
What's up, baby?
Who are you talking to?
My girl just jumped on.
Oh, there she
Yeah,
is.
she on.
Angie.
She jumped on.
Sister Angie.
What's up? What's up, y'all? Y'all see it's a little bit different. What's up, Pastor Bobby?
Pastor Bobby done jumped.
Michael Lane. What's up, Michael Lane? How you doing, man?
What's up, people?
Good to see you. How you been? How you been?
I'm trying to work
Lewis
out.
Boyd. We got some people in here already. Dang,
Already, jump on, y'all. Share,
up, Mama
share,
Lucy?
share.
Share, like,
It's
yeah.
it's one button. Hit
It's
that
not
share
Mama Lucy to
button.
you, it's just mom.
I could call her Lucy if I want.
You starting stuff already, Jose.
Whose mama
What I'm here
is it?
for.
You call your mom Tara before, ain't you?
That's a lie.
Yeah, I think
That's a
you
lie.
have. I think you have. I think you have. Did you just lie, Jose?
He did.
Before a show called Pastors Unfiltered?
No comment.
With the Lord all up in here around us? Man.
Holy
Man.
Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit,
That's
my bad. I wanted to get the spirit going.
That's cool. That's cool. Show some respect. Lewis, chill out, man. I was about to go in on Lewis, but I'm going to leave him alone. Talk about his rotisserie, the way he talk about, never mind. His rotisserie days, rotisserie chicken days.
Oh, Lord.
It's stopped up.
I'm ready.
You ready? All right. We got a lot of people in here.
Jumping on.
So we might as well, mine keeps on freezing up. What you doing, Jose? What's up, producer? How you doing? It look a little different in here today. It ain't all wild like usual. You're super calm. You're not wild like your husband.
Not yet.
I don't know. Muta Mwang is on there. I see him. What's up, family? He on there. What's up, Pastor?
Hi,
How
baby.
you doing, man?
What's up, boo? I see you.
She waved and everything.
Just let her have her moment.
I am. I'm just letting her go. She good. She good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Then you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We just get this started. You got all your love notes and all that sent to you.
That's out. That's out. Yeah, right, cool. I've been texting. I've been texting.
Let's what?
What's going on in the chat?
I was about to do my thing and he just caught me all off guard. I know you don't mean me when you say boo. Like you had to address that?
He had to address it.
Well, let's just say I knew Michael.
He said, "Hey, boo, I do mean Denver."
All right, so let me get back on track here. We got a special guest in the background waiting on, so we can't be here all day. So let's get this started. Welcome back to Pastors Unfiltered. I'm your host, Denver, and this episode is being brought to you by Big Bomb Diggity Speedos, the first ever universal unisex Speedo you can share with your significant other and friends. Get your BBDs at any thrift store near you and participating Kale's truck stops. And as always, dope sauce. y'all, you don't want to get your girl or your husband no. Never mind. Anyway,
hold on, please explain that to me. So anybody could wear the Speedo.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to share it.
Universal. Like say you at the beach, right? And something happened, you lose your bottom, you be like, hey, boo. Like your husband, he said, hey, boo, let me borrow your Speedo. and you can like it works. It's different. Don't worry about it. It's got like a thing that you don't worry about it.
I
You
took
had
a
to
health
see
class
it.
once,
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah.
And they tell us not to do that. Like, I don't think you should do that. It feels like a bad
Your
idea.
school wasn't that great anyway. They lied to you a lot. Nah, anyway.
Yeah, well, Kel's on here, so
I know that
he's
was
happy. That one was for him.
For Kels. He been trying to get on. He spent a lot of money on that one. So anyway, moving right along. With me this evening for the second time on Pastors Unfiltered, she holds a few names like Mama Relevant or the First Lady of Relevant. My pastor, Pastor Christine Wanya of Relevant Church, Niles, Michigan.
Hey,
And I'll be messing up some names.
It's okay.
I apologize. It's on you, Pastor.
Don't do it again.
I won't. See.
So,
Sorry.
hey, first of all, I want to tell you guys, share. Somebody needs to hear what's going to be said on Pastors Unfiltered. Let people know that pastors are real people. They are unfiltered. They get real, guys. They get real. So share it. It's an opportunity for pastors to jump online, be real, be unfiltered, enjoy some realness with a pastor that we're going to bring on, a special guest. But before we do that, I have to share the disclaimer. I'm going to say it as best as my husband does. So I'm going to actually read mine so I don't mess up. It says, please do not hold any church. Now, am I supposed to do the disclaimer now?
Mhm.
This is my turn. Why y'all laughing? Why y'all laughing?
Proceed. You're doing great. Forget Denver.
Forget me.
Yeah, forget him.
All right. Okay. Please do not hold any church, especially Relevant Church. Well, I didn't want to say the other church because I don't know. They know who the special guest is. I could say it, right? All right. So please do not hold V1 Church or Relevant Church responsible for any views or thoughts shared tonight. That's what I was supposed to say. We have a special guest on tonight. This is my sister in ministry, my friend. Her and her husband, Pastor Mike, have an amazing church called V1. They have 3 different locations. I'm not supposed. It's not your turn yet, Jose. Wait. They have a location in New York, Long Island, Brooklyn. Well, Long Island and Brooklyn is in New York for those who are geographically challenged, and then also in Indiana. They're part of the Link family, which makes us family with them. There are sisters, our brothers, and cousins, aunties, uncles, aunts, whatever you want to call them. They're part of the Link family. That means they're family with us. So we want to welcome Pastor Julie Signorelli in the house tonight. Come on. I don't like you guys tonight. This is disrespectful. This is not
Hey, guys.
honoring. Hi, Pastor Julie. How are you?
Thank you. What an introduction. Thank you so much. I was like, wow,
that was
and
awesome.
everything.
That was you see what your husband just said?
What'd he say? I can't stand y'all.
Oh, I see.
Pastor Julie doesn't usually go like this. They in the background laughing. They're messing me up, man. They throwing me off.
Girls got to stick together. I'm on your side tonight.
I knew that was gonna
happen.
happen. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm done already.
You're in trouble. And you get your man.
Why did she got it? I didn't even do nothing.
Whatever.
I got my
cancel Denver.
I feel like
cancel Denver.
Hashtag cancel
that's what
Denver.
I feel like
Everybody
just happened.
Hashtag cancel
Should
Denver.
have took my whole part. Like,
oh, I'm not supposed to say that part?
No, you spoke. You did. You were supposed to. So you did. But
I was glad you did.
Yeah, you. That was
bad.
good. I mean, I couldn't have did that great.
You see, we're unfiltered because we didn't rehearse anything. Everything is unfiltered, y'all. There's no let me practice, let me do this. This is jump on the mic and let's just do it.
We're
so my
doing
bad.
It.
You hashtag me, bro?
I'm about to hashtag him.
You just put a hashtag on me?
Yeah, that's my cousin. He just looks like me. Don't worry about it.
Hoseby.
Cancel Denver. Okay.
That's messed up. What you doing something? You just did something.
Cancel Denver. That's what he did.
I know. I don't know why it keeps going on and off. What are y'all doing, Jose?
Who has the mouse?
Is it
you, Pastor Julie? What are you doing
you
over
can still
there?
hear us? All right, good.
I'm not touching anything.
Okay,
not touch nothing. Don't touch nothing no more, Jose.
That's it.
All right.
Well, it's such an honor to be on here, you guys. I am such a Pastor Christine, Pastor Muta fan. Like Pastor Muta hit me up and said, my wife Christine is going to interview you tonight with Denver. And I was so excited. I was like, that's my girl. That's my sister. Like, we're doing this. It's Girl Talk plus Denver.
Plus Denver.
I figured it'd just be girl talk and like some dude on the side just sitting here. Basically.
Drink your water.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So you had the first question though. Go for it. We're gonna start.
Let's get into it.
You can talk.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
You could talk
right now.
We're going.
It's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Denver, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me this opportunity to ask Miss Julia a question. Thank you. What is a cool thing that you own that wasn't expensive?
A cool thing I own. Oh, I know exactly. So I have an electric potato peeler.
What?
And it was the best $15 on Amazon I have ever spent. And basically, you can peel a potato in less than maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds. You literally put the potato on, and it's got like two little sharp things, and you hit the button, and it zzz, and it peels it, and you can peel a whole bag in like minutes.
I love the sound of it.
Yeah.
Y'all eat that many potatoes?
And I'm telling you, it's the coolest. It's the coolest thing I own, and it's probably the cheapest thing I own, and it's the coolest, hands down.
Do y'all eat potatoes every day?
No, but let me tell you, I got it before Thanksgiving, and it was like a lifesaver. I hate to cook. I don't know if that's one of your questions, but I hate cooking.
It actually is. Do you love to cook?
No, I hate it.
It was one of the questions. I'm sorry.
You just answered the question.
I'm sorry.
We always joke in my house, you know, when you have people who cook, they always say, "Oh, you just taste the love in their food." And I'm like, we joke, you can taste the hate in my food. I hated cooking it for you.
Wow.
And I hated preparing it for you.
Wow. Okay. That one hurts.
I could see her with the pan. I hate y'all eat this food. I hope y'all don't grow.
Yeah. I know. The Lord's working.
It gets strong.
Let me ask a side question. Have you ever peeled anything else with it?
Have you tried
apple, pear? Have you ever put anything else there?
I haven't. A sweet potato, but I don't really feel like that counts. No, but you can do apples. You can do other things, but the potato is
cucumbers.
Chef's kiss. No. It's perfect.
Carrots. Okay. What is
the reviews on Amazon are amazing. I'm just saying, you guys are all gonna go do it. It's great.
Why specifically a cucumber?
Because I actually right now have 3 cucumbers in my fridge because I like cucumber salad, but I don't like it with the skin. So I had to do the whole potato peeler. So I was wondering if it works with cucumbers.
I feel like it would.
I got you. I think it would. I think it would
be
real good.
Send me the link later.
I will. I got you.
Thank you.
Just post it right now. Like there's like 12 people in the comments fighting about this thing.
You see your mom frying people in the comments?
My mom's talking to my aunt Sandy. She said, "For what? You don't even cook." Mom, I gotta say, Mom, sometimes you are very reckless on here. You just living your best life. Go ahead, Mama.
Wow.
We need a show hosted by Denver and Mama Lucy together.
I'm all for it.
I don't want that.
I'm all for it.
That's a lot of cuss words.
Go
ahead.
So as a child, Pastor Julie, what did you want to be? Did you always want to go into ministry? Like, what did you want to be and why? Growing up,
man. No, I did not think about going into ministry that I remember. Now we grew up in a church. So like my family, we went to church every week right out the gate. Like, I mean, from the time, like I was days old, like the first time I went to church, so it was like I was born. And then as soon as my mom was good, she took me to church. So we've been in church our whole life.
Uh-huh.
So I don't remember wanting to go into ministry per se that I can think, but I feel like before, my major was education and then I switched to business. I don't know. I don't feel like I ever really knew like what I was supposed to do. I do remember as a kid, I told my I told my dad that I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. This is when I didn't like school, as a little kid. And
Wow.
I said, I'll be a kindergarten teacher because you don't have to know that much. That was my perception as a kid. Like,
Wow.
1+1+2. Now I homeschool my kids and I realize these teachers deserve awards. They deserve to make billions of dollars and wear golden clothes. Like they deserve everything.
So you said that and it hurt my heart because the first thing I heard was kindergarten teachers are dumb. And then I was like, hold up,
5.
I was a kindergarten teacher.
I heard the
No.
same thing.
Never.
I didn't. No, I'm saying that she loves you. She loves
Yeah. When I was a kid, that was my perception because I wasn't good at math. So my perception was if I'm a kindergarten teacher, you only have to add a few numbers.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
to my, guys, I was like 8 or something. I was really little.
When you was explaining that, you said you came up in church like your whole life. Was
Yeah.
there ever a time where like you was just like, you know what, I'm done with church. I've done it so much. I don't want to go back, or has it ever been that?
I'm trying to think back. Like, we were church for my family. I'm sure they went through things over the years. I know they did. We talk about it now as adults, but church for us was like, it was fun. It was our social life. It was everything for our family. And I don't recall. I do remember as a kid feeling, because we went to a Pentecostal church.
Hey.
So it was like every time you'd bring your friend, it would be wild, And so I do remember being embarrassed to bring my friends to church because they were all Catholic.
Oh, wow.
So I definitely had those seasons for sure. But I remember thinking like, man, Catholics got it pretty good. It's like a 45-minute deal. It's quiet. Nobody ever jumps the aisle, runs around like this.
It's quiet. Nobody jumps the aisle. So you had jumpers in your church. You had the run laps. Did they run laps?
Yeah.
They did all that. Hey,
definitely.
Fall out. Did you have the cloth? When they fall out, you had to put the cloth on the women.
My grandma used to make me go to church with her, my dad's mom. And like when they jumped out of the chairs and started doing that down the aisle, I got so scared. Like, I don't know why. I was just sitting there like, man, I'm feeling like everybody might have to do this. Like, I'm not down. Like, I'm going to just sit here. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't one of them churchgoers, but every time grandma wanted to take me, I'm like, no, please. I don't want to see them dancers.
Here we go.
Them dancers.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like if you can think of it, it happened in one of our services. I'm sure of it. Like, we were Pentecostal. We're still Pentecostal, so I don't know like how much better it got, but we had all that.
So are you guys does your church, you guys still run laps and jump across pews? Hey, yeah. I'm here for it.
Yeah, we had a lady take off running last night, so we're here for it.
Take off running?
Hey, when the Spirit, remember I told you when we started, I started singing Holy Spirit activate. What? When he activates means you better activate yourself, exercise.
Okay, so I got 2 questions on that.
Go ahead.
Number 1, how big is the auditorium? Number 2, did you have Gatorade stops for her?
We did. We actually fed Gatorade running.
Put out the hand.
And it's not that big. So, you can't get real far. But yeah, I grew up in, Pentecostal church. And it was, I remember as a teenager feeling like, or like a young, maybe a preteen even, because as a teenager, I liked it. But as a preteen feeling like, man, this is so like none of my friends can relate. But, now I love all those charismatic expressions and, it brings a lot of joy and comfort. There's definitely times when you're like, okay, we got to keep, or there all the time we keep it in order, like there's an order to when it's appropriate and when it isn't appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
but I love where I came from. I'm so thankful for it. It was
Good.
wild, but good.
That's good. But somebody popped on online and asked, have you ever thought about tripping people while they're
No.
okay?
No,
Even in your younger days, you didn't say, let me just stick out a foot and
No,
watch.
but as teenagers, I mean, we definitely got a kick out of people, in their expressions, I guess. And so we still have a few that we remember and we'll laugh about. So I mean, yeah, here's the thing. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. So
You're right.
you just have to keep laughing. So yeah,
I'm here for it.
we never tripped anybody, but we definitely laughed about a few things as a kid for sure.
but you said before that sometimes you might have to shut some things down. Like, what? How bad did it get that you would have to shut it down? Like, explain
Yeah.
that to me. I want to hear that.
Not shut it down. I mean, I think sometimes church, well, here, now we're going to go a little deeper. Okay. We're going to take
Let's
it a little
do that.
deeper.
Let's go.
You always hear people like, you don't have to be emotional. You don't have to be emotional. You kind of hear those words in church, like, but like we have a God who created our emotions. And when we get into certain settings, our body reacts, the tone of our voice reacts. When we go to a surprise party, we're like, ah! You go to a baseball game or a football game or a dance. I mean, your body reacts and responds to emotions around you. And so when we get into the presence of God, our body reacts and responds to that. And I just have always been, I understand how we keep order, and we definitely, do that. But, if someone's excited, then we let them have joy in that moment. If somebody wants to dance, we're for that. If somebody wants to, if somebody is moved by the power of God and that affects their body, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's their body submitting to what God is trying to do in that moment. So, I think we went through a season of church where people tried to dignify, like, oh, just, don't overreact, don't get overly emotional. But when you're in distress, you're emotional, and sometimes when people come into church, they come in distressed, wrecked. Their lives are a mess. And so emotionally, you're going to see some of that. So we're not afraid of that at all. I'm not afraid of it. I grew up like that, but you got to have ushers who like know what's up. And they do.
Oh.
You keep on doing that, Jose. I don't know why you do that.
There she is.
It did it again, though.
There she is. There you are. We thought we lost
stay.
you. We thought you lost you.
But it made me want to ask this. Is it bad and or a sin to not be openly like joyful with worshiping God while you're at church and things like that? Like, is it okay just to sit back and just be somber and do your own thing?
Yeah, I think our personality comes through in our worship. So 9 times out of 10, when you see somebody being extremely demonstrative, that's how they are anyway. They're like that in life anyway. And then when you get somebody who's more reserved, that's probably how they are anyway. And then sometimes people are always like that in the presence of God. And I feel like for me, I can hear God very clearly when I'm still and quiet. And so I feel like everyone has to find their expression of worship. And that's why I don't think our church is for everybody. I don't think that, the church down the street is for everybody. I think everybody's got to find the place in the community that fits them. But also, be open to what God might do. Like, if you're reserved, who says that you're always going to be reserved? Who says that you're always going to be quiet? I would just have your heart open, whoever that is, have their heart open. If God did call you to raise your hand or to move on your, maybe step out of your seat, would you, And so that's kind of what I tell people, like, don't worry about emulating anybody. You just worship God in the way that is comfortable and sometimes uncomfortable for you.
That's good.
Sometimes just standing is uncomfortable for people, you know? So
do you say something to someone that like is going to your church and they're just stuck? Like, you know, that's not the church for them, but they keep just trying to plug away and keep coming. Do you say something to them to either get them to move or anything at all, really?
Yeah, so oh, go ahead, Christine.
No, I was just asking Denver if he was trying to get people to move out of our church.
I'm checking my options.
He's keeping his options open.
I feel like this is my last show. I gotta find somewhere to go.
The hashtag cancel Denver, man.
Exactly. Thank you.
You gotta cover your bases. We're like, if you're looking for a new church, hit up Denver. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, don't talk to that. No.
Start stuff.
Sent them to the wrong place.
Pastor Julie,
I'm sorry. Go ahead and answer the question. I'm sorry. See what you got going on.
So your question was, what happens when someone feels stuck? Like, what do I tell them?
Like, you just know they're stuck. Like, they won't budge. They keep coming back, but you know that's not the right. You're like unhappy. That church isn't for them.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because over the years, I've heard people say, like, I don't know where God's called me, or God hasn't called me to leave, or I haven't felt released yet. We hear all these phrases, right, that people say. Now, I've been a pastor at this point for, I don't know, 38. So like almost 2 decades, I guess, at this point, a few shy of that. And so I've kind of heard it all, the reasons why people want to stay and don't want to leave. And so I now that I'm older, a few years ago, I would be like, don't do anything until the Lord tells you. Well, but I kind of think a little bit differently now, because my thing is a lot of people say that out of fear for not knowing what's next for them, stepping out of their current church to go somewhere else they're afraid of starting over. They're afraid of maybe losing their position. They're afraid of building new relationships. But once you can't receive from your pastor anymore with authority, I think that is everyone's sign that it's time to go, And so I don't ever tell anybody if they should stay or go. That's just my perception now, this many years in on the outside, is that a lot of people use that phrase out of fear, and I get it. It is scary. I've changed churches a couple of times in my life, and it's terrifying, and I don't wish that on anybody. So I think if someone's feeling stuck, I would ask yourself the question, can I receive from my pastor anymore here? And if the answer is no, then you got to turn that page and not be afraid of what God has for you, because if he was faithful in this season, then he'll be faithful in the next one, and I know the people at our church, like I would like to believe they're there forever, but I know that isn't the case. I know that there are people that are going to get called and sent, and they're going to move on, and they're going to change, what they need in their family in that season. So I wish that everybody would stay, but I know that that's not the case. And that's kind of how if they ask me, that's my answer. Can you receive from me anymore? Do I have authority in your life anymore? Am I able to preach the word and you're able to receive it, or not? And if it's no, then I think that is the answer, because God's called us to attend a church. He hasn't called us to attend one in particular church, because if he did, none of us would be in God's will, because we've all left a church at some point to start our own, all the ones on this podcast. So, that's kind of my 2 cents. I don't know how popular that opinion is. I don't know if we're going to get canceled, Julie, in the comments. I'm not sure.
No,
put the phone down.
That's just what I see now in this season of my life.
No, that's good.
That's good. You had a question.
I do. Hey, what's your favorite hair care product?
Oh,
I knew you were gonna ask that.
All right, I'm gonna tell you,
Oh.
ladies, write it down, okay? Because I
Yeah.
fought my hair girl for years on this because I was cheap. All right,
Oh my goodness.
listen,
VO5.
I forget what it's like. A little blue bottle, and it's like Miracle 10, I think is what it's called. And once your
I'm about
hair's
to
like
search that
wet,
up.
you just spray that all over, and you will look like a model when your hair dries. After you
about that?
got to do some stuff, but after that,
I'm finna
it'll
try
keep it from breaking.
I'm about to grow my hair out.
I know.
Get
I
that.
know.
I use
that's my-
VO5.
on your
But I
on your
also will
beard.
say-
My hair.
You ain't got no hair, Denver. Denver, you bald.
See why I asked you that question, Pastor Julie? Huh? I don't feel I'm stuck no more.
You can't. He can't receive.
Nah, I didn't receive that. I didn't receive it.
I
You don't
asked
talk
if you
about
put-
my hair follicles like that.
No, I was asking if it was for your beard. Your beard you have hair there. You can use a little V. What you say?
I said her hair.
VO5.
She don't have a beard though.
Yeah, but the same
'Cause
hair.
though.
She said you want to look like a model.
Come
if
on,
you put it on. You just
on. We
want
can't argue. This is not working.
Do y'all need me to mediate this? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably.
Yes.
Denver's
Yes,
like
do.
my older brother. So
Yeah.
we constantly fight. This is
Oh,
like he's
and
like
dry
my
shampoo.
older brother, like by 10 plus years. Dry shampoo.
That's the
Is
other
that real?
thing.
Does that hold on? Because you know I'm not white. Help me out. Does you know I have locks? Ain't no dry, nothing working my hair. Hold on. Does that work? Like, explain it to me. Is it liquid that you're? What are you doing? What
Okay,
does
all
it
right.
do?
It's like a powder that sprays, and you just put it. It's if you get oil like around here, you get a little oil. You just touch it up in there. It goes away. Absorbs it right up.
Because I purposely put oil in my hair. Like,
I do too, which is weird because
But then you spray it with
oscillate.
the dry thing. Pastor
don't know,
Julie,
man.
you in a cycle. She said, I'm going to put oil, but I'm going to spray it because I don't want the oil, but I'm going to put some oil.
Yeah.
Your hair is
oil on the
gorgeous, by the
ends,
way.
Dry it up here.
It's cute. Did you
Thanks,
cut
girl.
it recently?
No, I'm growing it out. My
You're
husband,
growing it out?
it was a request. So I am
Okay.
honoring the request.
I'm going to shut up. Never mind.
My whole family
Your husband
voted.
likes your hair long.
He likes it long. My whole family voted. They were like, don't cut it anymore. So here I am. I'm growing it out.
It's cute.
Thanks,
It's
girl.
cute.
Thank you.
So one of the questions I have for you,
Yeah.
because we were talking about ministry.
Hold on.
We were talking
Time
about,
out.
hold on.
Time
What
out.
happened?
Time out. You jumped ahead too quick.
What
We got to come
happened?
back. Why was there like 8 older brother things for me?
No, because I was just letting people know that you're like my older brother. Like
It only had to be one, two.
Too many olders.
Exactly. Thank you.
I
got
was just
you.
saying the amount of olders based on the grace in your beard.
Y'all have fun tonight. I'm done.
I don't know when this turned into the Hate Denver show.
No, it's
but
not hate.
As soon as you
Denver. That's
put
a good brother.
#cancel Denver, that's when it started.
It
Well,
did start.
it
You
works.
started it. You started it. The question I have for you is, what would you say to your younger ministry self if you had to start all over again? What would you say to yourself?
Oh man.
What advice would you give? What would you say if you
Yeah.
sat yourself down? You said, Pastor Julie, you're not a pastor right now, but I need to talk to you about what you're getting yourself into. What would you tell yourself?
That's such a good question. I would say, God is not in a rush. And there are so many things that you're going to do in your life. Don't be afraid to pass up things to just focus on your kids and your family. I think I spent a lot of time doing things that were helpful, but like I could have just been at home more. You know what I mean? As a mom, that's just like what I would say to my younger mom self. Like, listen, you're going to preach for the rest of your life. You're going to do all these things for the rest of your life. And I think sometimes when you're younger, you're like, oh, I got to give this opportunity like all that I have because you don't know if you're going to get another one. But when God's called you to something, he's seeing it through to the end.
Yeah, that's good.
And you know what? It's like, you don't have to kill yourself over a message. And I would study and stress and, question and read all the, like all this stuff. And it's like, no, you just have to do your best, and you just keep your priorities, keep your family first, keep your marriage first. And then, just let it flow in that order. And I saw a guy say something the other day. I forget. It was one of the pastors out here in New York. He posted something, and he was like, don't, kill yourself on 50 hours this week on your message. Like, invest, your time in, like, invest a good amount of time in it, and then spend that time with your family. And I was like, man, that is so good.
Yep, that's a whole nugget right there.
Yeah. So that's
That
what I would
is.
tell my younger self is like, girl, you're going to preach a whole bunch of times. And in a season of your life when your kids don't want to hang out with you, so hang out with them when they want to hang out with you.
Hey, that's right. Because as soon as they start getting older, they don't think we're cool anymore.
No, I'm full chuggy. I've arrived. Do you guys know
You've
what that
arrived.
is?
Oh, what?
Chuggy.
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 Is that like
Chuggy,
a Pokemon?
Chuggy.
Is that one of them Pokemon?
I
Chuggy.
think so, yeah.
It's
What is that?
It's a word that means like outdated. That's what
I ain't
my
even there
daughter,
yet.
when I get dressed,
I
she'll
don't even
go,
know.
that's chuggy. I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
what?
I ain't never heard that word in my life.
That's New York slang?
I don't know. I
know,
saw
but
it
I'm
on
just
TikTok.
old. I'm old. I don't know that.
I thought it was boomer or something like that. I thought
Well,
that
they
was
call
what
me that too. Yeah, she calls me that too. Yeah,
Wow.
I beat
boomer,
my son up
chuggy.
one
Look
time.
up
He called me that.
parents.
I'm about to look up all the different types of words
Just
tonight.
look it up.
Wait for the next Nas track.
Oh my goodness.
That's
You a
funny.
chuggy sucker.
A chuggy. That's
Along the same lines of the ministry question that I have for you is,
Yeah.
have you ever felt like quitting, or
Yeah.
why or when did you feel like, when was the last time you felt like, yeah, I'm done with this stuff?
Yeah. It was, well, I felt like it a couple times in my life. And there were times where we did quit, when we were in the height of, our story is we had a toxic marriage that, God so graciously restored on 2 major occasions. And it was a lot of work and all that stuff. That's another podcast.
That's for another
That's
episode.
another episode.
Okay.
But when we were in the height of that, I was just like, I am done. Like, I'll serve my local church. I'll be faithful. And I was, but I'm like, that idea of pastoring together or being in ministry, I had completely given that up. And honestly, I was fine with that. And then, we received so many prophetic words, even during that time when we weren't even living in the same household, that God was going to use us in ministry together. And it's so funny because I actually remember our pastor prophesying that over us. Pastor Larry, he's not here anymore. He just recently died, but he was prophesying that to us in the microphone at a service. And we weren't even living in the same house.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, as he was actively talking, this is crazy. This is one of those things someone's just saying, that's how I felt in that moment. That's why it's so important to go to a church full of faith, because when your life is in shambles, you need people calling out that,
that's good,
better thing in you, the thing that you can't see. And they were just prophesying over us. And, thankfully we came through that season. And, years later, we were restored back into ministry, but we almost quit a couple of occasions after that. I mean, one was, Mike was he was struggling with alcohol. So that kind of came to a head. And at that moment, I was ready. I was so ready to quit. He had been drinking, and, our story is, he was just doing crazy stuff. And I was just over it. And I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And, I just remember being confronted in that moment. do you want to quit? And everything in my body was like, yes, but
Wow.
my mouth said no. And I remember being like, man, I just said, no, I want to move forward, but like, I didn't want to, And so I think God will sometimes use even our ignorance in his favor.
Wow. That's right. You're right on that one.
Yeah. And then I did go in a season where just recently I got really ill. I went on a mission trip and got really sick and never got better. And I'm getting better now. I ended up having surgery, which was super helpful, and just kind of going through that thing. But at the height of that, maybe like a month or two in, I just told Mike, I said, I can't physically do this anymore.
Wow.
And I just need to take a step back. And I took some steps back, and but it wasn't because I wanted to. I just physically felt like I wasn't able. But I'm stronger now. So I mean, if I've wanted to quit, yeah, lots of times. And I think that's normal. Like, this is hard.
Yeah,
it's normal to want to quit. It's people in the army want to quit. Like, it's normal.
Yep.
You just have to learn to get out of it.
There's actually a question in the comments that's kind of still along these lines. Would you start over in ministry if all the progress was taken away and you only had the experience?
You know what? I think the answer is yes. And here's why. Is because I've tried to do other things with my life and there's been no grace on it.
Wow.
The grace was short-lived and ran out. And anytime I've and we all have to find the thing that God's called us to do. And for some people, that's mothering. For some people, that's their job or their occupation. I'm just saying, for me, it's Pastors Unfiltered. So I'm talking like pastors.
Yeah.
For me, I've lived enough life to know outside of God's will, I am 1000% miserable. And so you can take all the progress, you could take all the people out our church, you could take everything away, shut the internet down, and you will still find us finding people to minister to.
Come on.
And honestly, I think as things uptick, I think a lot of pastors, I think we're going to see a lot of their success is going to be irrelevant, in this, not maybe not soon, but given enough time as we go through this life. I mean, our earthly gains are nothing. It doesn't mean anything in heaven. The only thing you could take with you is souls. So
come on.
I would say yes. I would do it all again.
Come on. She better than me.
Girl,
I'm done.
4 times.
Quit.
I'm not saying it.
People stress me out.
You don't. Never mind. You want me to ask a question? I'll move on past that. I do. Most women are pastors' wives. What is the hardest part about not only a pastor's wife, but also being a pastor at the same time?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That title, pastor's wife, I hated that title for a really long time. So anytime they'd be like, oh, you're Mike's wife, or oh, pastor's wife, like, I just would cringe. And a part of it was, I feel like, I never really was discipled on what a joy it is to be a pastor's wife. And even though I was a pastor in my own right, over time, I've learned that Mike's wife, or Pastor Mike's wife, is the most meaningful title that I have, because without that, I don't have, maybe you could take pastor off, Mike's wife, we'll just leave it there. Mike, without that, I don't have my children, I don't have my life, I don't have my companionship, this relationship that brings such joy into my life, and so I've learned over time to embrace that title. And so I remember when I got freedom in that, and I got a hat made that says, I wear it all the time. It says Pastor Mike's wife. And it's just kind of like this tongue-in-cheek thing, where I just started celebrating it.
Come on.
I love being his wife. Why would I not be happy about that? And I realized once I got free from that, because we used to be co-leads together. And I realized that it was causing some confusion in our church. People didn't know who to go to for what. Even our team, our employees would be like, what do we do if you say something and you say something? Like, who do we listen to? And so we had to really work that out. And I laid my title down. I was like, this is causing too much confusion. So I'm just a pastor at our church. And Mike's our lead pastor, and that worked for us, but it also put so much rest on me that I don't have to bear it all. I don't have to be a tough girl. I don't have to, be a boss girl. Like, I can just be a girl in some seasons. I could just be Mike's wife in some seasons. I could be Pastor Julian in other seasons. And it really, the thing that I thought I would never like let go, when I let it go, I had so much freedom. And I honestly, I would never go back. I would never go back.
She said, I'm free. And she just kept running.
Like, yeah. Like, I'm good with it. So when you ask how I feel about being Mike's wife, I hated it, but now I really embrace it and love it. And it's freeing for me, because I realized by him having that title, it freed me of some stress that I don't have to carry,
Yeah.
That's good.
Lots of stress.
Yeah, it is. I still have a tremendous amount. Okay.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
But even the term pastor's wife, like, there's so much stigma to that term. And that's why when you was talking about it, it's like, yeah, I love being my husband's wife, but even that term pastor's wife, there's so much stigma. Oh, it's the gossiping women, or she's not perfect enough, and she doesn't wear gloves to church, and her skirt was above her knee. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that mentality of that old tradition kind of, pastor's wife, so she has to look a certain way, be a certain way, act a certain way. And when I was free from that, remember our coaching sessions? Remember when we talked real about it, and it was like, free yourself from that. That's dumb. Be you.
Yep.
And then you guys gave me the freedom to be me, and good luck. This is what you guys get.
And I love it.
All of me.
Why did women have to wear gloves?
Back in the day, no, I don't know. It was matching gloves with the hat, the church hat that's tilted on the side.
Yeah. Pantyhose. No,
the panty. Oh my God, I can't stand.
I thought it was like, like mandatory. You didn't want to get, you had dirty hands.
I don't know. It was just a fashion statement, I guess, back in the days.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, you have to every pastor's wife has to find their identity. And I used to like look down. I'm just being as honest as I could be. I'd almost look down on pastors' wives who were traditional pastors' wives, like, why doesn't she want to lead? And why doesn't she, whatever. And honestly, I look back and I'm like, that's so stupid, because God calls each one of us to our own, way that we serve with our husband. Yeah. And if someone draws strength by, going all in on what it means to be a wife, then I mean, what a beautiful representation of Christ's love for his church. I mean, isn't that Jesus to us, Isn't that the church back to Jesus? And so I found so much beauty in it over the years. That's probably another thing I would tell my younger ministry self, is just shut up and stop being so judgmental.
Yeah.
But I've just seen the beauty of it. And the most valuable lessons that I've learned about ministry have been from those kinds of women. Yeah. And I think I've learned the most from them,
How bad would it be for a pastor's wife to not even go to that church?
I mean, I think that's not okay, Denver.
I've never heard that. I was like, hold on.
What? Some people don't agree with everything.
There was a book
they might need to break up.
What was it? Emotionally Healthy Spirituality. I think it was that one. And he was a pastor whose wife went to a completely different. She's like, I can't even be in the same church with you. So I think when you got that issue, that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother ball of wax.
I mean, it's just like you don't want to go work at the same job with your wife. I mean, some people do. I would. I'll say that. Let's move on. Let's move on. You got another question? I'm over here.
If you're
digging
married to
hole.
a pastor, you better go to their church. Okay, good night.
Yeah, you better go to their church.
You better go.
That's where I'll go to Relevant.
Yes.
You should.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should.
Go to Relevant Church.
Yeah, go to
100%.
Relevant.
I'm irrelevant. You
Okay.
should go.
You
going this Sunday?
I'll be there this
All
Sunday.
right, cool.
I'll be there.
I'll probably stop through. You got another question?
He said, "I'll stop through."
I'll stop through. Never if you don't be there at 7:45 in the morning.
Christina wear gloves.
I'll wear gloves.
And a big hat. Y'all should do that though. I think y'all should.
Just one day, just
No, on a Sunday, not just one day, but like come to church with one of them big old hats with
with the bow on the
with
side,
like
and
a
the
fruit
matching
basket
gloves.
and all that.
That's not the fruit basket thing. That ain't something.
Like
that's
with just
for-
the big, the hats. You got another question? Come on.
Come
Pastor
on,
Julie's sitting here.
Pastor Julie, what is your guilty pleasure?
Oh my gosh, McDonald's.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just saw. Hold on, guys. I had to. Sorry, this had nothing to do with the show.
I love
I
it.
just saw a video of. Am I allowed to say this?
You're
I
allowed
just-
to say
Yep,
this.
you sure are.
I just saw a video of Niles McDonald's.
No, you can't say
I can't
that.
say that.
I
Okay,
mean-
scratch
Don't
that
say
from the
it.
record. Scratch that.
Go
from the
ahead.
record.
We already
Yeah.
here.
I
We
saw
went
a McDonald's
It
in a
said we're
certain
here.
city, and somebody videotaped it, and there was cockroaches. There was oil.
Yeah, but
behind.
that's everywhere here in New York. So you just whatever.
You said just roll with it. She
said
is
roll
very
with it.
calloused.
It's protein out there. Like,
She is very calloused from that McDonald's.
She
It
said,
is what it is.
What it
You-
is? What is your what is
Yeah.
it that you get? What is your meal at McDonald's?
Okay,
What is your
it's
go-to?
really boring. No one will like it, but just a McDonald's cheeseburger, not like the big, nothing extra, but just a McDonald's cheeseburger and McDonald's fries. I mean, there's nothing better. Like, I'm telling you, that is my guilty pleasure. I have other guilty pleasures, but that's probably my worst one. And
Wow.
I mean, all like to me, McDonald's breakfast is like creme de la creme. I know, and I've been
Hold
to
on.
really nice restaurants, but I'm just
You said
saying,
McDonald's, bro. Okay, what do you get for the
sausage
breakfast
egg
then?
McMuffin is where it's at.
With no McMuffin?
Challenge me.
You said sausage egg McMuffin.
Yes. Have you had one?
Is the McMuffin the one with the sweet? What's the one with the sweet?
That's the McGriddle.
yeah, that's the McGriddle.
Oh, that's
No, not
McGriddle?
that one.
I am so
Okay.
mad I know that. I hate McDonald's.
You love it.
Do you?
No,
You've been
I
eating
don't.
it. How
might
you
like
know it?
Because I got,
So good.
You got kids that like it.
yeah.
So we blame it on them now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I've ate it, but like, I regret it every time.
Yeah. You don't ever eat it and feel good about yourself. There's
No.
no.
What is the
it's-
What is the hardest part of pastoral ministry? What's the
Dang,
hardest?
she rapid fire.
What's the
Man.
hardest? I'm just pulling up questions that I've
Okay.
had that people been asking in the past that we've
Yeah.
never asked before. I said, let me just ask her.
I think the hardest part is when people are, skeptical. When people, I would say skepticism, but not of you, because as a pastor, you put your life out there and it is what it is. If you don't want people to examine or judge, like we're accountable to our pastors who serve as our elders, like we're accountable to them. And, they're allowed into my life. They have passwords to my life, like some of them. And it is, it is what it is. Like, that is what I signed up for, is that, accountability piece. But that skepticism that you feel, whether it's implicit or explicit, that is the hardest part, because there's so many times where I felt it and I knew my heart, but there was nothing, there's nothing you could say. If you defend yourself, it comes off as defensive. So you don't defend yourself and you just give it to the Lord to kind of sort it out. And sometimes you don't get validated for years, and sometimes never. But it's why it's so important just to live your life as honestly as you can before the Lord. And, I don't know, maybe I have done bad things, but not like intentionally. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that skepticism, hands down, has been the hardest thing for me to walk out in ministry.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. So we're coming here to the end. I got
Yeah.
one more question. What would be something, what one piece of advice would you give, whether male or female, trying to get into ministry, but fears that call on them?
Don't watch YouTube. Listen to God.
Yeah.
And then speak whatever he's putting into your heart. Don't worry about what's current. Don't watch relevant. I'm talking about preachers, like preachers watching preachers. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? A lot of times as preachers, Christine, you probably can relate. You'll be like, what's this girl preaching? What's this person doing? Like, and then you kind of pick up styles and mannerisms. And it's one thing if you're listening, like my husband streams and it's like an encouragement, but I'm talking about the art of preaching. This is just my personal opinion. I stopped watching it because I want to be me. I want to be, I mean, male preachers don't influence me. Their mannerisms or how they preach or how they communicate doesn't come through as much as it does when I lean into, like, when I study female ones. So I love to listen to preaching, but I will listen to it. I will not watch it with my eyes. Because as a pastor, and if I'm preparing a message, I will not listen that week leading in, because I don't want anything to influence my, that rhema word, that like now word that God is speaking. I don't want it to be influenced. Sometimes I'll even shut the news off maybe for that little bit. And I know that might be an unpopular opinion, so just whatever. But that's kind of my way to not emulate someone else, you know? Just try to be me. Popular, unpopular. Like, I just got to speak what God's speaking to me and to my church. And preach for your church. Don't preach for anybody else. Like, preach to your church. Don't worry about what else is out there, podcasts. Like, just preach to your house, you know?
That's good. That's good.
Silence the noise.
Been a good night. I don't know. Does this thing kick us off? No? All right, cool. I want to ask this last question because this is my favorite question. What is your most memorable on stage mishap?
Oh man, I have so many of those. Okay, I one time when we were youth pastors, this is embarrassing, but here we go. It's Pastors Unfiltered.
You know it's gonna be great when she does the giggle ahead of time.
I said what is technically a cuss word, but I didn't know that it was.
Oops.
And so I don't even want to say it, but it was two words that you put together that I didn't know. I was trying to say something was ugly.
This is unfiltered.
But I didn't know that when you add a letter, it stands for a cuss word in front of it. And so I said that in front of a room full of youth group kids. And they thought it was hysterical.
Everybody in the comments just want you to go ahead and say it.
I'm not saying it.
You said 2 words. Can you at least give us one so we can try to guess? Give us one of the nicer ones.
It was started with an F and
blood pucker. No,
French toast
was attached to it. So you can. I just didn't know it was a cuss word.
You all loud in the background.
I was getting it, and I was like, "Oh, I got it."
You got the word?
Let's end the show, guys.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't be mean. I'm just telling you.
He did cuss.
I didn't know it was a bad word, and I was probably like 20 when I said it, but I said it to like 50 like middle schoolers.
Oh wow.
I think my wife just wrote it down. Is it?
Oh my gosh.
Fugly?
Fugly?
No, don't say it. You guys can't.
Oh, you can't say fugly?
No, it's a bad
I didn't know
word.
it's a bad word.
Well, they told me
it was fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks.
My son said fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks better. Yeah. So sorry, guys. I just want to be as honest. So that was. I'm glad YouTube. Cool. I'm glad nothing existed. Like.
Oh, I get the word now.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's unfortunate.
Cool.
See how it
cool.
can be misleading? It doesn't seem bad, but
it didn't
is.
seem bad until it just hit me because you did say 2 words put together as one.
Yeah.
I thought it was 1 word. So here am I searching up who's fugly.
You
Don't say
Googled it?
Because I didn't realize it was 2 words put together as one.
Yeah, I said
Pastors
it, and
Unfiltered, guys.
I was just encouraging kids, and I said it, and it's funny because now these kids are like in their 30s, and they still, or well, no, they're in their late 20s, I guess.
They won't let you live it down.
No, they still bring it up. Like, hey, remember when you said this at church? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a bad word.
That's cool. I might use that this week.
Nope, don't use it.
I'm not a pastor. It doesn't matter.
There you go.
All right. Cool. So since we made it through a wonderful night, Pastor Julie, if you could please. No, it wasn't.
We lost it.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was a great night. PC.
It was an amazing night.
Kicking me off the show. I thank everybody. This is my last night.
It's
probably.
not.
No?
PM will be back.
Okay, cool.
On Monday. He'll be back.
All right. So, Pastor Julie, if you could please pray us out. And
I would love to. I just real quickly want to say thank you, Pastor Muta, Pastor Christine, and Denver for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was fun laughing with you guys.
Thank you for being on. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you guys are awesome. And congratulations on your church building.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. And I'm so happy for you guys. And if you're tuning in because I shared it and you live in this area, their church is awesome and you should check it out.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now I'll pray.
Thank you.
All right. Lord Jesus, we thank you. God, I thank you for everybody who's praying about ministry, Lord, and who's thinking about it. God, I pray, Lord, that something we said is encouragement to them. And God, I just pray, Lord, that you'd prepare their way, prepare their steps. And Father, I just pray that even if people just laughed tonight, God, let that joy. We're just so thankful for the opportunity that we can be Christians and just talk about things and laugh. Blessings over this podcast, over this church. I pray blessings over their family and over their children. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Julie.
Thank you, Pastor Julie. You're awesome.
Before we go, I want to say to Taylor Bailey, I am not old. I remembered in your comment, I am not old. I'm older than you.
You're just older
than her. That's
it. Taylor's awesome.
You're older than me, and I'm old. Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
I'm the oldest one on this thing.
No.
Whatever. You said 38 or something. Get out of here.
She said 38.
She said 38.
Oh man.
Get out of here.
Wait, how old are you, Christine?
We're not talking about it on the air, Pastor Julie.
You just now
stay on the.
You just now legal to go in the bar. 38. Anyway, cut this off, Jose.
It wasn't time yet.
No, you gotta just the live. Cut the live.
Oh, we're done. Okay, bye guys.
Bye, y'all. See y'all next Monday. Peace.